When it comes to Universal Studios, obviously, a lot of people, including myself, are very excited for Epic Universe and all the new rides, attractions, and lands that will be at this brand new theme park. And many of them, we're hearing lots of hype about the rides themselves as being some of the best rides in Orlando. And we'll have to wait and see when the park opens, how these rides live up to the hype. And of course, Universal is known for the Wizarding World and how well those lands and attractions have been done. But Universal has a major dud that is in the Universal Studios Florida park, which is Fast and Furious Supercharged, as this is panned by just about everybody that goes to Universal as one of the worst rides they've ever been on. It is simply just a bad ride. I mean, Fast and Furious is a kind of insane franchise to begin with, of where those movies started and where they're at now, but the ride itself is not good. And there's been lots of rumors about how long would this ride be around, because it is actually one of the newer attractions in Universal Orlando. So it's not like this is an old attraction, but we could have a little bit of an idea maybe of what will happen with this, as we have a story here from WDWNT in that Fast and Furious Supercharged is going to be closing at Universal Studios Hollywood as part of that tram tour. And does it also mean maybe Fast and Furious Supercharged in Universal Studios Florida might be following suit? So we're going to read through this article and give some thoughts on it. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic. It says Fast and Furious Supercharged at Universal Studios Hollywood will soon be taking its last ride on the world famous studio tour. The announcement of the ride's closure was made at the Universal Studios Instagram page. It says the Fast and Furious Supercharged attraction on the studio tour prepares for its last ride on March 10th, 2025, prior to the all-new high-speed outdoor roller coaster Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, opening in 2026. Be sure to experience it one last time before the attraction closes. So it makes a little bit of sense out in Hollywood in that they are building a Fast and Furious roller coaster. Now, this is a very highly anticipated roller coaster. I've talked to people, theme park conductor, OG55, they're out in California, and they're able to see this construction happen all the time. And it's a ride that a lot of people are looking forward to. Seems very innovative, and it seems to be a good fit for Fast and Furious, being a roller coaster that also seems to drift along with it. So that makes a lot of sense out in there that they would, just have one Fast and Furious offering and no longer do the studio tour. So a new addition to the studio tour will be announced at a later date. It says Fast and Furious Supercharged is described by Universal Studios Hollywood as an exhilarating journey where guests become engulfed in the world of cutting-edge, hyper-realistic special effects. I can tell you that's not how the one at least in Universal Orlando operates. I've never been on the one in Hollywood, but the one in Universal Studios Florida, I would not say is an exhilarating journey or cutting-edge, hyper-realistic special effects. It looks like almost like a bad video game. Like, it is astonishing how bad that ride is. Over at Universal Studios Florida, Fast and Furious Supercharged was closed for 3 months in 2024 during Halloween Horror Nights. Universal was reportedly looking to save money ahead of Epic Universe, and due to the ride being unpopular amongst guests, it was likely easy to close the attraction. Universal has not made any announcements on whether the Florida attraction will also see a permanent closure. So that one closing in Hollywood does beg the question, is the one in Universal Studios Florida is it going to be closing soon? Now, I do know Universal does know that this ride's not popular, and I know this because, some team members I talk to, they know good and well where this ride stands. My wife and I one time were at the parks, and one of the team members came up and asked us, to do the survey, and they asked us what's our least favorite attraction at the parks. And before we could answer, he goes, besides Supercharged, we know exactly where that stands. So even Universal themselves is aware of how bad this ride is. And it's one of those rides where I genuinely want to know, I just want to see how that process went of that ride being proposed, going along the process, someone seeing the ride and being like, yep, good to go. It's not a good ride. It's just not. And you can see that by, again, they closed it for 3 months during Halloween Horror Nights. Nobody missed it. Typically has even 15-minute waits, 20-minute waits on a very busy day. It's essentially a walk-on all the time. We actually did it a few weeks ago because we hadn't done it in a while, and our daughter wanted to see what it was like. And even she was just like, that was weird. I'm like, yeah, it's not good. It's very cringy, very weird. And in the queue, the pre-show where you get phone calls, it's very obvious Ludacris was not filming it. It's a CGI version of Ludacris. It's clearly, I think he said, I'll do the voice work, but I'm not filming anything. It's just a very odd ride. Obviously, the rumors started swirling a little bit about this lately, as Universal themselves said on the recent Epic Universe commercial that they have a full slate of things coming to the existing Universal Studios parks, as well as plans for Epic Universe. And they already have announced that Rip Ride Rocket is going to be going away and to be replaced with a new roller coaster in its place. Now, one of the rumors is that could that ride there be like the Fast and Furious Hollywood Drifts ride, like a drift type roller coaster that's Fast and Furious themed. They potentially could do that. I don't know if it makes sense there because it's going to be in the New York section, but that is a rumor that it could be a Fast and Furious roller coaster. And if that would be the case, it would be the same thing that they're doing in Hollywood, where they would likely get rid of Supercharged because they wouldn't want two Fast and Furious IPs rides in the parks, and then they would just get rid of Supercharged. That's one scenario. Another one is just simply if they're saying they have a full slate of things coming to the existing Universal Studios parks, this ride here is one of the easiest ones that you could replace. Again, it's not popular, and I think a lot of people would love to see it go, so I think it is a prime candidate for something happening. Now, I haven't heard anything specific about if this is going to shut down, but I think the one out in Hollywood closing down could be some writing on the wall that this ride out here in Universal Studios Florida is on some borrowed time here. I don't think it's going to last much longer. I would be utterly shocked if this ride was still here within, like, say, 5 years. If they're going to do a lot of things, and I think they will, into the existing parks after Epic Universe opens, because I've said for a long time I think that's exactly what they're going to do. Universal has basically said that's what they're going to do. I have a hard time thinking that Supercharged survives the revamps coming to studios and Islands of Adventure. So I think even if the new roller coaster isn't themed after Fast and Furious, I don't think this ride is going to last much longer. And perhaps it closing out in Hollywood is some foretelling of what the future could be for the Universal Studios version of this ride. And if it does shut down sometime soon, it's got to be one of the shortest runs that a ride has ever had. So this ride is barely at this point 6 years old. I don't think it's going to make a decade. And I don't know what the shortest time a ride has been open before it was changed out or closed down, but it has to be up there in the running. In terms of the timeline, I think after Epic opens, we could see a lot of news about things being announced coming to these existing parks, as I do think Universal is clearly being very aggressive here. And again, they are very well aware of where this ride stands. But we do know the one in Hollywood is closing, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with Supercharged in Universal Studios Florida. And hopefully it is going to be closing down soon because it is just not a good ride. But either way, that's going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, do you think Fast and Furious Supercharged will be around for another 5 to 10 years, or do you think this ride is going away pretty soon? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.